Hello, you legendary people. Welcome to or welcome back to Lauren's Legends. Today we are diving into Arizona's urban legends. I love Arizona and I have had wonderful experiences there. One of my best friends went to college out there and I was able to go and visit her several times. Now, I live in the mountains of North Carolina, and Arizona always struck me because it was vastly different than anything that I had ever experienced with the deserts and the cactus and everything that comes with it. So I'm excited about this one. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. In my own personal visits to Arizona, one thing that always struck me is how much vast nothingness is out there. And there are several desolate highways. There is one long highway in particular that runs through the desert and is surrounded by huge boulders and hills. This area is known as Crater Ridge. This area has horrible service, and many truckers use this Highway 85 to transport goods. At night, this road is very dangerous and has no streetlights, and you have to keep your eyes on the road at all times. There has been numerous reports that after midnight, people have been traveling on this dark road and see a young couple that look stranded and are trying to flag down vehicles. Several travelers will continue to drive, concerned to be stopping so late at night on the side of the road. And when they get to a place that has service, they will call 911. But when the responders get there, there is no car and there's nobody to be seen. Some people will stop their vehicles, and when they pull off on the side of the road to look down, to put their car in gear, or to take off their seatbelt, they will look up to see no one there. Realizing that they're the only ones on this desert road and feeling an eerie sensation and thinking, are they seeing things? Others will let the couple get in their car, and when they start driving again, they will look back only to realize that the couple has vanished. This bothered one person so deeply that they decided to do research and find out if anybody had passed away on the road. And in their research, they found out that in the 1950s, a young couple had just gotten married. They had left their ceremony and they were heading out to go on their honeymoon for the week at Lake Tahoe. It had been a very long and fun day of celebrations, and they had gotten a late start to get on the road, and they were traveling on this dark highway right after midnight. It is not known if they fell asleep at the wheel or if they lost control of the vehicle, but as the morning came, the vehicle was found slammed into the rock, and both of the couple were still inside and they had been killed on impact. Local people still believe that the couple are trying to get help from passerbys, so if you happen to be driving late night after midnight in this dark road, think twice before pulling over when you see someone trying to flag you down. Arizona's culture is vastly influenced by the Navajo tribes. Their beliefs and history go way back. One of their biggest legends is that of the Skinwalker. They believe that the Skinwalker is an evil type of witch that can change into, possess others, and disguise themselves as animals. The information varies outside of the Navajo culture and is very misunderstood, and that is really in part for the Navajo people not wanting to talk about this and also are nervous to even say the name in fear of summoning one. But throughout history, the research shows that they believe that these shapeshifters can change into attacking coyotes and other creatures and are commonly associated with bad omens and with death. They also believe that they are also tricksters and can use noises and other tactics to try to bring you in closer. There are hundreds of accounts of people saying that they've witnessed them when driving and hearing tapping on their windows to only look over and witness an ungodly sight, or that they had even tried to attack them. And several missing people in the area are believed to have been called out into the wild by these shapeshifters, and then they're never seen again. Here are two stories of people that believe they had encounters with them and lived to tell the tale. Two young college girls had decided to go on a hike outside of Tucson in a national park. They had parked their vehicle at the base of a mountain and they were putting on their tennis shoes. They started at the base of the mountain and began climbing. Amazed at the rugged beauty, but still trying to stay clear of the prickly cacti that lined the path. When they reached the top of the ridge, they lingered watching the sun just beginning to set across the land. They were mesmerized by the gorgeous scene in front of them, and time was slipping away quickly. It was just becoming twilight as the dark was trying to set in, and a brisk wind blew in and a chill ran up both of their spines. Turning to each other, they both no longer felt as though they were alone there. As they were deciding to head back, they saw something swiftly move out of the corner of their eye, and panic began to set in. They didn't know if it was an animal tracking them, but they couldn't see anything when they turned to look back, and they started hurriedly going down the path. Then strange noises started coming from all around them, as if they were being surrounded by different things that they had never heard before. Several minutes had gone by, and they're still briskly walking down the path, but then they began to hear pebbles kind of rolling behind them and branches breaking while these noises were still going on. The terrified girls broke out into a run going down this hill with no concern over snakes or rolled ankles. They were getting so close to the car. As soon as they did, they grabbed the door, they threw it open, and when they did, they heard this low, utter growl, as if whatever had been hunting them was mad that its prey had gotten away. Another story involves a high school senior who was on a basketball team, and they had been playing a game, and they had gotten back in the bus, and they had a very long ride back to their Navajo reservation. The team had about a 10-hour ride back, and everybody in the bus except for the driver and the senior had fallen asleep. As they entered the land of the massive Navajo reservation, it was around or a little after 2 a.m., and it was a night that had a full moon that was lighting up everything. This senior was still trying to drift off. It had been a long day, a lot of riding. He had had the game, and as he was just closing his eyes and beginning to drift off, he began to feel the bus start speeding up. And he knew this was very odd because the bus driver was extremely safe. The bus driver was a parent of one of the kids that was on the bus. The senior knew that this bus driver always went the speed limit, and so alarmed, he sat up and he looked out the back window and completely froze. Running behind the bus was this horribly grotesque creature that had to have been going at least 80 miles per hour, and it was getting closer and closer and gaining on them. The boy closed his eyes and kind of slumped back. What else was he to do? And he felt the bus somewhat lurch as the driver sounded as if he was chanting some kind of prayer. They turned the corner and was illuminated by lights to the main gate going in, and it was if that was the barrier that this creature could not cross, almost as if it was marking them as safe. And when he sat back up and very fearfully looked back, there was nothing behind them anymore. Has Arizona been visited by aliens? Many people believe so, and there is one night in particular that many people believe that they actually saw them. The Phoenix Lights were sighted by thousands of people in the southern skies of Arizona and in Nevada. This all happened on the night of March 13th, 1997. The lights were seen between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. over 300 miles. All of the reports that came in were all very similar, which is not common. And the reports were stating that they had seen a UFO-shaped disc in the sky that had 5 lights on the front of it. And many of them reported that it was in somewhat of a V shape. There were also people that said it was so large that it was blocking out parts of the sky. Some said that there was this low hum as if it was emitting a frequency that was making them feel sick. Reports ran like crazy, as well as conspiracy theories and many different allegations. Were aliens coming to the earth and were they spying on people? There were many people that did believe that. The people that witnessed this occurrence were people like doctors and police officers and other people in very respected positions that were reporting this to others. And they were taking pictures of it. There are hundreds of pictures of what these people saw. There was something in the sky that night. And all these people believed that even in the craziest things that human had in the military, there was nothing that we could create that could be that huge and come in that stealthily. We wouldn't have been able to create this kind of craft. There are some people that even believe that this was a massive hoax and that someone had taken 5 red flares and had attached helium balloons to it, tied together, and released it over Phoenix, and it had drifted the 300 miles. But that had been disproven with experiments, and it wouldn't go that long, as far as 3 hours that the people had witnessed it. The Air National Guard did come out and they said that they had been conducting trainings in the area, and that was all that it was. But they acted too late. They came out way after the fact, and the mass majority of people believe that they were just trying to cover it up and explain it away. But even if they had been doing experiments, why were they so close over the city to be doing these late in the evening? That was not the typical way of doing a training exercise in the area. The actual governor, his name was Fife Symington, later came out to a UFO investigator, and he stated that he was a pilot and knew about every single piece of machine that had been created, and that this was much bigger than anything he could have ever imagined to be created. He also told this person that he didn't tell the public his belief in the beginning because he didn't want to cause complete panic. So it is very odd. There was some kind of craft that people did witness and record footage and pictures of it that was very close to the city limits of Phoenix. And something happened that night. What do you think it was? I don't know. I think that the government might have been trying to cover something up, but I probably think that because I have actually experienced my own UFO sighting. So, on one of my adventures out in Arizona, I had gone to the Grand Canyon with one of my friends, and his name is Dan. On the way back, it is late night, and we are going from the stretch after Sedona towards Mesa, and there is nothing out there. And when I say nothing, I mean at one point, we really, really needed gas, and we saw a sign that there was a city coming up, and we pulled off. It was 50 miles to the nearest city to get gas. We made it in with the fumes in the bottom of the tank. Learned my lesson. Don't go out in the desert unless you got a full tank. So we get back on the road and we're heading down this dark, dark highway. The stars are incredible out there. I mean, they don't even look real. And we see off in the distance these red lights. Like I saw one flashing, and as we either got closer or it got closer to us, one or the other, it kind of had a triangle shape. And we were thinking it must be a hospital over there. You know, the top of the hospital will have its red light on top so the helicopters can come in. But we were in the middle of nowhere and there was nothing out there and there was no hospital. And it got closer and then we didn't see it. Like it got closer and we could see the red blinking lights, all 3 of them in the triangle shape. And then it went away. It was just gone. So I don't know if lights turned off or if it way out in the distance. It very likely could have been something that the government was flying around, or I could have seen an alien craft. I don't know. But please tell me what you think about a couple on the side of the road that passed away in the 1950s, and if you believe in skinwalkers, and if so, have you ever had your own experience? And what do you think about the Phoenix Lights? What are your theories? Thank you so much as always for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will see you next time. Thank you.